What's up?
What's up, YouTube? It's Rickzilla here. And today is going to be one hell of a show tonight. Honestly, I was aching to do a stream covering this public announcement made by the one and only Revelation News. And oh boy. The reason why I wanted to cover this shit is because, well, you all heard me say some stuff in the past. And of course, a lot of people made fun of me for that because of why I kept comparing these people to this certain individual. No, not Brett Kane, the other certain individual. Before Brett Kane became a thing. I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's hear what Jason has to say. Let's hear the hot take. Let's hear his hot take.
Reverend individual here, guys. How you doing?
Oh, so now you're a reverend individual. Huh. A little drink. Sorry, I had to wet my whistle. Nothing explicit out there. Hey, Twisted Skeptic. Oh, hey, Twisted Skeptic. How are you doing this evening? Anyway, let's continue on.
So there's an issue that I definitely have to address here.
I wonder what
I don't
that
want
is.
to. These things happen once again. I just want to live my life. That's literally all I want to do.
Same here,
I
same
want to
here.
have fun with Shannon. Oh, that's the first thing I'll address, okay? I guess there's this this group of people.
Drag covered this, I think it was yesterday or earlier today. I don't know. I was watching Drag cover this video. Sorry, I had to put my glass of tea aside so I can discuss and explain what this guy's saying. Anyway, Drag covered this video on his channel, and he has brought up a lot of interesting stuff that I am attempting to do to the best of my knowledge, which is very little. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Jason believes that he has to come in and save the day because people are talking about Shani behind their back. And, well, let's just say that when it comes to Shani and Rev, again, I will say this, pain and idiocy will definitely ensue. So let's not see my face right here. Let's see this face because it's going to be insane.
And I'm not going to call them dragoons. I'm not going to call them anything.
Then what are you going to call them?
I'm just going to call them a group of people.
What are you going to call them? Trolls? Because I know what you're leaning on. I know you're leaning on that notion. And honestly, I saw this coming. I saw this coming from a mile away. And oh, it's gonna be delicious. More delicious than Shanny's macaroni and cheese. That's for sure.
That enjoy preying on mentally vulnerable individuals.
I like how he brings up Brett Keane in all this, because, and let's not forget D-Roy. I like how he brings up D-Roy as well, because, well, I don't know much about D-Roy, but from what I heard from Black Guy TV and Dragnot Silvas, I could say that he's basically, what's the word again? An Uncle Tom? Yeah, he's pretty much an Uncle Tom. Same with G-Man. I know that kind of sounds a bit racist, and I apologize, but honestly, I don't think D-Roy has ever been in contact with Shanny or Rev. But I understand that he brings up Brett Keane because we all know that Jason and Shanny have been fans of Brett Keane. And the whole individual shtick, that whole saintly individual shtick, he's modeled that after Brett Keane, because we all know Brett Keane likes to call himself the situation individual. Because that was basically a joke that was coined by the drunken peasants and Paul's ego. So let's hear what he has to say.
The most in our community, okay? There's probably worse than that. Like I've mentioned Chris Chan, who was pretty much almost harassed into suicide.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there, Jason, because Chris Chan. Okay, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, because we all know that the Geek Room, especially Billy, likes to poke fun at the fact that I always keep comparing Shanny to Chris Chan. But I have a reason for why I've compared Shanny to Chris Chan. And Drag has said it. And Drag, even Drag has made comparisons between Shanny and Chris Chan in his video. And I know I have a bit of a high-pitched voice. And yes, Billy does like to poke fun at that because of the fact that I keep saying, every time I post something funny in the Geek Room's chat, we all know Billy likes to go and say, does he know that Shanny is like Chris Chan? Kind of says more about her than me. Yes, I repeat that shit all the time, but there are reasons. And Jason, you're basically half correct on the fact that Chris Chan did attempt suicide. But again, you're wrong on that part. You see, one of the reasons why Chris Chan, it was because Chris Chan was in a deep depression after his father died. And of course, he was still trying to find a quote-unquote boyfriend-free girl at the time. He made these Facebook posts trying as a way to like garner sympathy from people. And that's the same thing with Shanny on her community tabs on Twitter, on her community tabs on YouTube and her Twitter, that she's been garnering, she's been trying to make these pity posts as a way to garner sympathy from others, just so that she could feel better about herself. That's another reason why I've been comparing Shanny to Chris Chan. is that they're always trying to pity bait people, which I guess you could say it's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, let's continue what he has to say. I mean, yes, he brings up Chris Chan.
Mentally abused into suicide. He changed his gender. They just completely destroys his mind.
Well, again, you're wrong on that one, Jason, because, well, sorry, I just got to make sure my mic is top notch. Anyway, I would have to disagree on some notion on that. On the one reason, he didn't really change. Chris Chan didn't really change his gender. The whole Tom girl thing, that Chris is still trying to implement this day, the whole Christine Chandler transgender saga, the whole Tom girl saga, that there have been people that have been debating on this sensitive subject matter regarding Chris Chan, is that a lot of people, even myself, believe that Chris Chan decided to identify as a woman as an elaborate scheme to pick up lesbians, because no straight girl in their right or wrong mind. I mean, for almost 2 decades, like since 2007, 15 years, almost a decade, Chris Chan has been pestering the internet. Hell, Chris Chan might have basically pioneered the term lolcow, or lolscow, as what burnt toast was, because it's basically the same thing. Chris Chan was the original lolcow. And again, I have to preface it that many reasons I have compared Jason, I have compared Shanny, and I've even compared Von Helton to Chris Chan, is because, well, they're fucking nuts. They're absolutely insane. Shanny is like Chris Chan in so many ways, but most of all is her habit of lying, and lying about her lies, which is a trait that Chris Chan still exhibits to this very day. Rev is like Chris Chan in the way that he was coddled most of his life. And it's possible, again, like I've said, it's possible that his mother might have taught him how to shift the blame on others. But his mother spoiled him when he was young. And even up until her death, she still spoiled him. Same with Vaughn. And possibly G-Man. But we'll get to that. Von Helton is the most out of the three. Out of the three, Von Helton is more like Chris Chan in almost every aspect. I mean, Von Helton is what Chris Chan would have been had he not transitioned. I mean, Von Helton has made countless of stories suggesting that he was a magical warlock or a vampire. And of course, he, much like Shanny, much like Rev and G-Man, Von Helton has a nasty habit of lying and lying about his lies. Similar to Chris Chan, he also does that. Oh, people just, you know what? I'm going to continue going on with this notion because much like as I was saying, Von Helton, out of the three, is much more like Chris Chan in almost every aspect. I mean, Von Helton claims to be these different people. He claims to have special abilities. Let's just say Von Helton claims to be benevolent. Why else do you think he keeps calling himself a sorcerer? Why else do you think he keeps calling himself the Punisher? He claims to be different people. He claims to have made the, he claims to having these, he's basically taking credit for these accomplishments that other people have made just to make himself feel better about himself. Much like how Chris Chan likes to make up stories about how he's this goddess of an alternate dimension and that he can curse people. Jason also does the same thing as well. Even now he's doing the whole, I'm going to curse people because I'm a Christian warlock. That whole, again, Chris Chan did that before him. You know, with the whole curse Hameha thing. Chris Chan's done that too. And also the fact that another aspect that I find similar between these people and Chris Chan is this. They can't take criticism. Much like Shanny, much like Rev, G-Man, Vaughn, much like Emo, Howling Wolf, Brett Keane, and other people, Chris Chan hates criticism. Every time people tell him that he should improve on his artwork for his Sonichu comics, he ignores it. And he basically accuses people who give constructive criticism. He accuses those types of people who are trying to help him he accuses them for being trolls. Because, yes, these people have been trolled to oblivion on the internet. And of course, they react negatively towards the haters, the trolls and whatnot, the naysayers and all that. They throw a bitch fit over the most trivial things. And of course, they try to, and much like Shanny and Rev, and even G-Man, they try to discredit people who tell the truth by saying that they are lying and that they are manipulating people into saying this stuff. Chris Chan did the same thing when he always accused the trolls of leaking personal information for for calling him homosexual. And of course, let's not forget the fact that they drew NSFW art of Rosachu with a penis. And Chris Chan tried to like defend himself, especially on Encyclopedia Dramatica. He tried to defend himself by demanding the admins of ED to take down their articles because they were basically, because he thinks that they were lying about him, making up stuff to make him feel bad about, make him the villain. And then he does stupid shit to try and like get people to come on his side. And that's what these people are doing right now, is that they're trying to get people to come on their side because they don't know how the millions of people on the planet think. They assume that everyone is biased and that whatever the other person says, it's true, and then they have to go and defend themselves on the shit that it's been put out there about them. Same thing with Chris Chan. Why else do you think he starts retconning everything in Sonichu?
Okay. Now, there's this narrative that they want to paint that I'm this saintly fucking amazing man, which I've never claimed to be, number one.
You're not amazing, dude.
Okay.
I'm not going to fault him for that. He's never claimed to be amazing. In fact, he's the exact opposite of that.
But I'm just going to put it out there in front again that it's bullshit. I have massive anger issues, and anybody that knows me from the days of the Hangouts, you could go ask Nadia Yvette Chambers on Facebook for access to her channel, and if she gets to know you a bit, she'll.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. Didn't Jason try to like stalk Nadia Chambers on Facebook? Wasn't he stalking her on Google Hangouts, trying to simp for her? And this was before he met Shani. Before he met Shani, wasn't he stalking Nadia Chambers? I could be wrong, but let me know. If anyone wants to leave a comment in the live chat, please let me know. Please. The link to the live chat is in the description. I have the link in the live chat to come in and post your thoughts. Feel free to do so. I wasn't really, much like Drag, I'm not usually looking at the chat. Oh, hey, Druid Lover, what's up? Anyway, I know Mother J is going to make fun of me for having little viewership in the streams, but I digress. Anyway.
She'll let you into the private hangout videos. There's so much material in them, it's insane.
Again, wasn't Rev trying to stalk Nadia Chambers on Google Hangouts? I mean, he did bring up Chris Chan, but, and that's another thing that I wanted to talk about, is that much like Chris Chan, Shani and Rev have this habit of trying to stalk people that they're fans of, especially on social media. I mean, if you haven't been, if you don't know about Christian and what he's about, there's countless YouTubers who have covered Christian better than I do. Hell, there's there's the quickie that you can check out to see what other stupid shit that he has done in the past and is still doing. But one of the things that Christian tried to do on Twitter was he was trying to stalk like these these people who are in the My Little Pony fandom, people who professional YouTubers who talk about My Little Pony. And of course, he also tried to stalk Doopy Doo Over of Planet Dolan. Planet Dolan used to be this this YouTube channel that used to do these top 10 videos covering bizarre shit. Now it's just my story time. Anyway, Christian tried to like simp for these female artists on Twitter, like SNT Network, who is this digital artist who does like redesigns of Sonic OCs. She did like a redesign of Sonichu and Roast Chew, and she even did a redesign of Chris Chan's other Chris Chan OCs, like the Chaotic Combo. So, he tried to like talk to them. It's basically if you don't know this, like I said, if you aren't familiar with Christian, there's an entire website dedicated to him. And aside from stalking people online, he tried to stalk people in real life. I mean, he had a sign that he would display out at the local shopping mall that he would frequent at. He would sit around, loiter. He would loiter like Walmart, Target, and any other public venue with an attraction sign looking for a boyfriend-free girl. He was trying to like get a girlfriend by advertising his sexual availability, which caught the attention of mall security. I mean, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Christian tried to like he had this attraction sign. Again, I already said this, but he posted these advertisements, like a singles ad, like one of those singles ads you used to see in the newspaper, like dating ads. Hey, Jury Lover, what's up? How are you doing? How are you doing, Jury Lover? By the way, I forgot. I was sorry. You see, Christian did like these, I wouldn't say old-fashioned dating ads where he would advertise himself, posting attraction signs on the college campuses, where he was trying to like advertise his sexual availability at the community college that he attended. Which I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How's life? How's life? What have you been up to, Druid? Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, you see, Christian did this. Sorry, I already said that, but he used to post these attraction signs around the Piedmont, Virginia Community College campuses looking for a quote unquote boyfriend free girl, which he would try to make into a sweetheart. And it caught the attention of the dean of students, Mary Lee Walsh, who told him to stop posting these attraction signs, putting these attraction signs around. And Chris Chan took it as a slight against his character because he thought she told him that he can't find true love because in his mind. Oh, good. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, Jared. Congratulations. What was I? Oh, yeah. Christian took this as an offense against his character when the dean of students told him that he can't post those signs around, and he kind of told her to fuck off, which got him suspended. And he made her a villain in his Sonichu comics, depicting her as a witch. I mean, if Jason was with all the shit that Jason does, with all the things that Jason has said about people, you know what? I could say that maybe you should take all this information that you've had on yourself and all about the people. Like, maybe you should write a comic book yourself, Jason, about how, and maybe you can make Dragnot, the Geek Room, and other people as the villains in your comic book. I'm just saying, you should try that. You should try making a comic book about about Shanny's personal life and make like the Geek Room and Dragnot as the main villains. And you can use your hex spells on them to and make Shanny the overpowered Mary Sue. You can make Shanny an overpowered Mary Sue, where she casts hex spells on her enemies. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's continue on.
Okay, but the point is, I have anger issues, and I've always had it. My dad died when I was 7, and it usually manifests in a male to have anger issues if you lose a dad early in life. It's just a thing. I don't quite understand it. Maybe it's just being pissed off at God type of thing, which I'm not. But anyway.
I was thinking about saying this about how losing a father could have a negative effect on a person, especially one who has been sheltered their whole life. I mean, much like Chris Chan, Jason lost his father early on. Well, actually, early on. But unlike Chris Chan, unlike Jason, Chris Chan lost his dad later in life. But the thing is, Chris Chan has the mind of a child. And Jason was a child when he lost his dad. So maybe the two can be comparable because they had to put on take up the responsibilities of being the man of the house after the father dies. And Jason was really young when he lost his dad. So I understand that might have a negative effect on a child. But the thing is, you shouldn't let that control your aspect. You shouldn't let that control your life. I mean, yes, his life was... I understand this one thing is this. Jason is a victim of trauma. But rather than instead of getting help for the trauma, he let it corrupt and made him into what he is now. A codependent man-child with emotional issues. He's basically actually an entitled man-child with codependent issues. Also, I could say the same thing about Shani. Shani herself is also a victim of trauma from age 16. She was sexually assaulted at age 16. But much like Jason, instead of getting help for it, getting help, seeking therapy to overcome the trauma, she let it corrupt her and made her into what she is right now. So there's that.
Enough about me. They're trying to paint this that I'm this victim. It's constantly, and the cops even did it, which tells me that this is way deeper than just internet trolls. Like, yeah. Shannon's a TI. She's
the Tento saga. Oh, don't get me started. Oh yeah, I gotta take a look at that shit. Not really. I guess you could say the Tento saga is Jason Sonichu, but instead of a novel, he should have had it as a comic book and have Shani do the artwork for her. That's too generalized, I think, because my dad died when I was 11. But I'm sorry to hear that, Jared Lover. I really am. I mean, again, no one should have to go through that, even at a young age. But you shouldn't let tragedy rule your life. You know what I mean? No one should let tragedy rule their lives. I lost my grandma at a young age. And it affected me greatly. And I lost my grandpa later on in life when I was in my teens. Again, it further affected me, and which caused me to have like bouts with depression that I still battle to this day. But again, I've overcome that kind of stuff. And I've been getting help for it. I've been getting help for my depression. I mean, I've been going to seek therapy. Right now, I'm doing it on the phone because of COVID. But it's still considered therapy, even if it's online. It does help. It helps so much. And to Shani, Rev, court-mandated therapy is not the same as actual therapy. I'm just putting that out there. It's not the same thing. Even though it is considered therapy, but some of that therapy can be, I don't know, biased. I'd say you guys should seek actual therapy, trained professionals, and not court-mandated therapy, because that is very dangerous. It could be biased at best.
Is a targeted individual. Look up that term, okay? I think I am probably been in my life too.
A targeted individual. What are you, targeted citizen? I mean, well, you have the haircut, but not the beard. I think Terry Davis was a targeted individual, according to him.
It's bloodline. I won't go there though.
I would have loved to have seen Jason make references to the late Terry Davis.
The point is that she's targeted for this.
At this point, you're going to compare your wife to Chris Chan. That says much about you than her. Well, actually, that says much about her than you. I mean, I know I get a lot of flack for that, but again, now you're saying it. I'm not saying you actually watch my content because targeted individual. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Targeted individual, really? Jason, you and your wife put this stuff out there for everyone else to see. It's not a secret anymore. Again, I can compare you to Chris Chan on the fact that nothing is sacred when it comes to personal shit on the internet. Because, like Chris Chan, you post sensitive information that should never be online. And you throw a hissy fit over it. I mean, and look at your bathroom. Take, for instance, your bathroom. And your entire house looks like, and your bedroom. Your entire bedroom. Yeah, Rev is gaslit. Yeah, he is a gaslit individual. Again, your bedroom, because you spend most of because we all know Shani can't get out of bed without having to get lightheaded. So I can't say the same. I can't say about the rest of the house because neither of you step foot in the other rooms in the house. I mean, we all saw the cooking. I mean, the cooking video, yeah, wasn't really that great, but the kitchen looks fine, looks nice. I mean, I don't like to see Shani cook because we all know she can't cook worth the damn. Hence why she buys DoorDash. Hence the DoorDash shit. But the kitchen looks nice. I mean, I can't say the same for the bathroom or the bedroom. Well, from what I hear, with all the junk that's been piling up and down. I know that she said that, Twisted Skeptic. She said she can't get out of bed. Because right now she's immobile now. Maybe the reason, and I blame the DoorDash for her current condition because she's now immobile. Anyway, but the other rooms of the house, well, then again, I remember the arrest video. There was like a pile of clothes on the table, and there was a Christmas tree still up, even when it's in May of last year. They still had a Christmas tree up. In case you remember the arrest video where the cops came into their house, and you could see the pile of clothes on the table. I don't know about their new place, but Shannon and Rev spent most of their time in the bedroom, and I guess before they moved into their new place, the apartment they lived in looked like an episode of Hoarders. Now the room looks like an episode of Hoarders. And much like Christian, they can't bother to pick up after themselves. Shannon can't get up now. And I think Jason is too fried in the head to even think for himself or even think for Shanny. And Zachary, well, Zachary keeps to himself until he wants something, and then I know the fibromyalgia. Yes, Drew, lover, the mafabro. I have fibromyalgia. Mafabro. I can never get over that joke. I mean, we all know that because she said it herself, and we just ran with it. The whole mafibro joke. God damn it. Every time I hear mafibro, I always keep thinking of Dragnaut. I always keep thinking of Xavier filming Dragnaut imitating Shanny, where he has the pillow in his shirt while he's like, mafibro! I can never get over that shit. That was funny. That was in response to Shanny imitating other people who talk about her poorly. Shanny did it poorly, but Drag nailed Shanny's mafabro. And let's not forget, Rumor Research nailed Shanny's caking up the makeup. Anyway, let's get back. Can I call Rumor Research Liquid Shanny?
I am involved because she ended up with me.
No. Other way around, dipshit.
If G-Man got her, he would have seen all the stuff that I've seen.
Okay. She got with you? I think it was the other way around. You got with her because she gaslighted you into getting with her. I mean, I saw the I'm a Wreck video where she was crying in her parents' backyard about how she needs her Adam and she needs her David. The reason why she got with you, Jason, was because you had money. Okay? You had money. And because you had money, she didn't have to work a single day in her life. Because she thought you could take care of her. But you couldn't. Because she didn't know that you were a mentally stinted toddler with anger issues. But you're just about as mentally fucked as her. So you're made for each other. All right, good night.
And what I've seen
Druid.
is that she's targeted. And I think it's mainly because she's a vulnerable girl and they're targeted.
Hold it. What is she? She's an e-girl on
all the stuff that I've seen. Okay. And what I've seen is that target. I think it's mainly because she's a vulnerable girl on YouTube.
Emotionally vulnerable. Not physically vulnerable. Well, I mean, yeah, she's emotionally and mentally vulnerable, but not physically vulnerable. Your busted lip could test for that. Can testify that. The welt marks on your arms and legs can testify that she is not physically vulnerable, because we all know that she hits you. because she's psychologically vulnerable, she transfers her anger, her frustrations into physical manifestations directed towards you. So there's that. And also she uses tactical emotional manipulation. And falls back on her conditions as an excuse.
And they're targeted for harassment to push them to commit suicide live on air. It's a thing for these people. Now, if you don't believe me, I don't give a fuck. All that's true.
Yeah, I agree.
She is her.
Yeah, I agree, Twisted. She only wanted him for his money because, like I said, because he had money, she wouldn't work a day in her life. I mean, she did have a job. I mean, she had several jobs. I mean, she was, I think she was like a cab driver at one point. And then I think she quit because she saw two people making out in the back seat. She worked as a volunteer for a nursing home, but she got fired because she kept goofing around when she was supposed to be doing her job. So but when she got with Rev, she didn't have to worry about working. I mean, when she was with Chris, her ex-husband, Chris Dornbush, she had to take a job because they didn't have money. Hell, in the interview with the Geek Room, Chris has explained that they didn't have a car. They had to walk to work. So, but Jason, because Jason was left an inheritance, she didn't have to worry about getting a job. And now look where we're at. Losing money down to like, I don't know how much money he has left. But Shani's, and what did she do with, and what does Shani do with that money? What does she spend it on? Worthless shit. Makeup. I'm pretty sure she does have a backup plan. I'm pretty sure she does have a backup plan. But when Jason had the rest of his mother's inheritance, she spent it on worthless shit. Makeup hauls, toilet hauls, expensive gadgets, and food. Copious amounts of food that could feed an entire elephant for a year. And she's wasted all of Jason's money on DoorDash. She's wasted it on Uber Eats, Grubhub, you name it. She's wasting her money, eating herself into an early grave. Putting this poor guy in debt. Excuse me. And she doesn't give a shit about him. She doesn't even, again, she doesn't give a shit about anyone but herself. Hell, she never even gave a damn about her kids. She claims she's given a damn about her. She claims that she cared for her kids, but she doesn't really. Instead, she uses them as meat shields to, well, justify her beliefs as a Christian. Remember when she tried to get her son William to agree with her on religion? And she told him to say that Jesus was awesome. And he blurted out that She told him to say that. Remember that, Skeptic? I don't know if you were there, but it was in Cecile McFly's documentary on Shanny. I mean, they're still talking shit about the drunken peasants. I mean, they're really cool guys, or what's left of them. I mean, which is Billy and the other guy.
Harassed by a group of people that are very dedicated to seeing her in a very bad state.
Yeah. That's the definition of troll, Jason. And the only way that you can handle, there's one way you can handle this problem. And that is to simply ignore the trolls, because they feed on negative reactions from people like you and Shanny. Again, there is a golden rule that has been around since the days of MySpace, since the days of the early YouTube, since the days of Something Awful, 4chan, and other websites. And this golden rule is the simple one. Don't feed the trolls. It's that simple. Don't feed the trolls.
And it's happened for far too long. Now, Dragnot was not one of these people.
No, he's not.
Which is why I'm just asking myself, Dragnot, why did you get involved with these people that harass Shannon?
Well, he wasn't really involved with them. I mean, Dragnot knows Shanny for as long as they were on, since the early days of Google Hangouts, I think. But the Geek Room, they aren't harassing Shanny, you dimwit. They're pointing out, they play the videos that she's posted on her channel, and they play it back. Why can't you just accept that? Why can't you see that? Oh, wait. Like I said, I think I've made this statement before. It's because Jason, you and Shanny and G-Man and Vaughn and the other locals, you don't know how the billions of people on this planet think. So you assume that they're going to listen to others. So you assume that everyone on this planet are stupid, and yet you don't know how the entire population thinks. Kind of reminds me of Donald Trump, in a way. He doesn't know how the billions of people think. Therefore, he thinks that everybody's going to believe him over the others. Doesn't know about opinions.
Do you think it's fun?
I think it's hilarious.
If you think it's fun, you got to find a new fucking hobby, dude. Why don't you?
He's doing just fine talking about these people.
Get some magic cards, put some decks together, and play with your kid. How about that? Instead of picking on people like D-Roy, G-Man, Shanny, Brett Keane, and Von Helm, who they all have issues here. And they all admit that. Vaughn, it won't, because he's a strong man and he's like, I'm not going to admit that I got anger issues, god damn it.
You're starting to sound like him right now, but he's not picking on them. Nobody is picking on them. Well, maybe the trolls, but again, he's just pointing out their bad behavior. He's just showing their bad behavior that they themselves put out. You can't tell Dragnot what to do. Only he can do what he does. You can't tell him to drop his content. You're the one who goes on YouTube and you try to make it as though everyone's against you. The whole world, you try to make yourself look like you're the victim here, and you fail miserably. You're the one who's hiding behind Shanny's Snorlax folds. You're the one who's hiding behind Shanny's Snorlax panties. You can't even use people. And another thing that, again, I have to emphasize this. I've been saying this most of the times, but you people, Shanny, you, G-Man, Von Helton, you people can't let go of the past. And you do nothing to contribute to society.
You're going to get my fucking kids taken away. And I go, Vaughn, you see the anger?
Do you see the contradiction?
That's it. You're going to... Okay? There's issues with these people.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. But it's not an excuse to act like a complete idiot and try to get people to feel sorry for you. You don't use mental illness as an excuse. It doesn't work that way. It never fucking will. Again, much like Chris Chan, you people use your disorders as an excuse to convince people not to bully you. I mean, back when he was still classic Chris, he made these videos on his PSI where he would convince people to leave his family alone and stop making videos on him because to him the trolls are convincing people not to like him and that people should feel sorry for him because he has autism. Jason, you're doing the same thing. You're using your disorder as an excuse. Why can't you see that? It doesn't work that way. No one should criticize. I mean, you shouldn't come off scot-free because you have a disorder. I mean, God, how many times has Chris Chan ever played the autism card each time he gets into trouble? You're basically doing the same thing. And again, Shanny is making people with actual mental problems look bad by default. I mean, again, Faith Aquin, she came to me and told me about her issues. I mean, and when she told me that her problems were genuine, I realized, yes, the Geek Room likes to make fun of, the Geek Room would make fun of, they would brush off the Faith's issues because Shani decided to use her problems as an excuse. I mean, Faith has actual problems. I mean, she has actual mental problems. She's had actual bouts with suicide. She's had her fiance was beaten by cops, by corrupt cops. And when people see Shani making these same arguments as a way to garner sympathy, she creates this image that all people with mental problems are just people who just want attention. When in actuality, there are people who do need help. And Shani's taking advantage of that shit. Again, I have to keep saying this because, again, you brought up Chris Chan, and I have to keep bringing him up because you forced me to do this. Not really, but I wanted to do this. I wanted to clear this shit out. And I wanted to prove to Billy and Bran that I'm not just some fat guy who likes to dress up like Wolverine and Batman. And also, I'm not fat. I'm out of shape. And I like cosplaying. It makes me feel better. And you can't say you can't say that's a bad idea because I'm going to say this. Billy, I know you're not going to see this because I know you hate my guts because I keep regurgitating the same jokes over and over again. But again, I have to clear this out. The reason why, there are many reasons why I've been comparing Shani to Chris Chan. And another one of the reasons is the fact that she uses her disorder as an excuse for her shitty behavior. I mean, Chris Chan did the same thing with his autism. He assumed that just because you have a disorder that you cannot be, what's the word? I keep forgetting the word, but you can't be it justifies that you shouldn't be acquitted, I think. Acquitted for your mistakes. That's what I was thinking of saying. Chris assumed that because he had autism, he shouldn't be held accountable. That's what I was thinking. Sorry about that. Exactly, twisted skeptic. And Christian did the same thing too. Why else do you think he tried retconning Sonichu? He saw Geno Samuels. Exactly. And of course, exactly skeptic. Shani, I was going to say this. Christian thought because he had autism that he should be held accountable for his actions. That's what I was going to say. And Shani did the same thing too, does the same thing too with her mental instabilities. And it basically makes other people with these actual problems look bad by default. It's basically a modern, and it's because of this, and it's because of this, and it's this sense of egotism that's going to lead to people playing a modern variation of kick the autism in real life.
I think a lot of YouTube people have problems. And we should get a support group together, chill out.
I mean, there have been people who there have been YouTubers who have been seeking help for their problems.
Watch movies and talk.
This is a stupid idea. You can't tell all YouTubers to get together and talk about their problems when you can't even deal with them yourself.
Instead of hurting each other. So that's issue number 1 taken care of. Okay?
No.
I am not a saint. And don't believe anybody that tells you that.
No one ever said you were a saint.
There's been marital things, issues, because of my anger.
No, it's not because of your anger. It's because people see that it's because you're being gaslit. Because it's not because of your anger, it's because you're being taken advantage of. Shanny's the one who's the aggressor here, not you. How to explain your busted lip, Jason? Explain the times, explain the arrest. Oh wait, you can't, because in your eye, in Shanny's eyes, everyone else is the bad guy, and she is just the poor abuse victim. Dude, no one's that stupid. But according to you, everybody is stupid. Everybody's mentally retarded. Everyone is an adult diaper furry. Oh, maybe that's just, well, some people are like that. Emo Howling Wolf. Yes, Twisted Skeptic. All of them share a common trait. They can't accept responsibility. For some people, it's an upbringing. Especially for people like Jason here, like Rev. It's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. Because again, I have to say this again. I want to believe that Jason's mother taught him to shift the blame onto others. And I think I could say the same thing about Von Helton. It's probably a learned thing from the parents because of poor upbringing. I don't know about Shanny, but I think she learned it from somewhere. Maybe not her mother, but maybe, I don't know. I shouldn't be faulting Betty. I shouldn't be defending Betty because, again, like what Drag said, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Maybe she learned it from Betty, but who knows? Maybe their parents taught them how to shift the blame onto others. Who knows? But Jason here, yes, I know Shanny's siblings didn't turn out like her. I mean, like what Betty said, they were more successful. They had lives, they had families, jobs, income. Shanny, I could say, and don't take this as racist. Shanny's the black sheep of the family. She might not look like it. It's a term. It's a metaphor. But I think Shanny's the black sheep of the family. Even though she's more of a white whale. She's still, even though she's a white whale, a white cow, a hippo, whatever fat animal. She's a white walrus, minus the tusks. But she's still the black sheep of her family. I mean, yeah, but like what Betty said in that video directed towards Chris, she said that Shanny was a beautiful child and that she always liked to sing and she always talked about wanting to go to Paris because that was her daughter. But it wasn't until she got, again, like I said, Shanny wasn't really like this. I mean, but maybe the reason why Shanny acts this way, what made her this way, is because of the sexual assault at age 16. Like I said, Shanny was a victim of trauma. Like I said, she's a victim of trauma. But again, instead of getting help for it, she let it consume her and turned her into this hateful person. You know what I mean, Skeptic? I don't know about Jason. Jason had a poor upbringing. I mean, like I said, his mom coddled him when he was little. Therefore, exactly, that's what I meant. It doesn't have to define a person. Jason was coddled. And I don't know about Vaughn. I don't know about Von Helton, but he's been fucked up since, I don't know, a long time. I mean, so wait, Vaughn had again, Vaughn had an overprotective mother, right? Right, Skeptic? Sorry. Yeah. So, and I think Vaughn's mom is much like Chris Chan's mom. You know what I mean? Vaughn's mother is kind of like Barbara Chandler. When Chris Chan got into trouble, his parents, back when Bob was still alive, his parents had to come in and save him every time he got into trouble. And that's the same thing with Vaughn. His mother had to come in and save him. So I could say that Vaughn was coddled most of his life. And I think he probably learned the behavior of shifting blame onto others from her. I think Vaughn's mom taught him to shift the blame onto other people. And the fact that I think people fucked with him online. But Vaughn has a poor grip on reality. But the thing is, out of the people, out of the bunch, Vaughn has more in common with Chris Chan than the other few people. Like, I mean, they both had a poor upbringing. They both have been coddled by their mother, even up until adulthood. And yet, and both their mothers are extremely elderly with onset with onset dementia. Their mothers are both elderly shells of their former selves with possible onset dementia. I mean, Vaughn's mother is in her 90s, close to the end. And Barb, oh my God. Every time Chris Chan would put the camera in front of Barb, she looked like a deer in headlights. And yes, Chris Chan did use his mother in some of the videos where he got her to go on camera and demand people to give them money when they were having financial crisis problems, which is still going on to this day. But he took advantage of her frail state. And yes, Chris is also a neglectful person as well. Chris Chan was a neglectful person. Which is why most of us don't feel comfortable with the possibility of him having kids, because he would definitely neglect them. I mean, he let a few of his cats die. Chris left some of his cats die, and he hasn't been taking care of his pets either. In fact, like I said, he let his cats die. He let several pets die because he was busy with his fantasy world of Quickfill. He wasn't taking care of them because their house is cluttered. Much like Vaughn's trailer, it's extremely cluttered. And, well, Vaughn's trailer looks like an episode of Hoarders, much like Chris Chan's house. And I'm surprised that and I can give Vaughn the benefit of the doubt here, but at least Vaughn didn't light his whole trailer on fire or even his mother's house on fire. And I don't.
And the way I react to feeling slighted, I act like a child.
You still act like a child. Well, so does Shani. Every time people make videos on her, she would throw a bitch fit over nothing. Even she threw, I mean, when this whole COVID thing became widespread, I mean, it's still widespread even now. But at the start of the whole COVID thing, she used it as an excuse to try and force people to pay attention to her by saying that COVID-19 was a sign that Jesus Christ was coming. And then she kind of said that humans deserve to be eradicated from the face of the earth because they weren't listening to her. What does that say about her, skeptic? Oh, don't worry, skeptic. Don't worry, skeptic. There's an entire website dedicated to chronicling and archiving the stupid shit Chris Chan does. All right, good night, skeptic. All right, good night, skeptic. Talk to you in a bit. I'm gonna be wrapping up this shit later right now, but I'm gonna listen to more for Jason say stupid shit.
A lot of the time. That's because I was a spoiled shitless kid. I was.
We know.
White privilege was real with me, which is why I try to give.
No, you were trying to buy friends.
Because I feel obligated to.
No, you were trying to buy friends to make Shani happy. You've been wasting money on cameos from celebrities just to please your ham beast.
Anyway, that's how you use your white privilege. You give back to people as much as you can.
Give to charity. No, dude. You don't just. You gotta mean it. You can't just give your money to people and try to like buy their trust. No, you gotta actually mean it. You gotta show the dedication. You gotta actually mean it. You gotta do more than just give people money. You gotta like mean it. Giving money isn't charity, even though that's the crux of it. Even though that's mostly the crux, but it's more than just money. It's helping a cause. And what you're doing, you're just buying people's trust poorly.
Anyway. And Shannon does the same, which is why I'm so glad I got with her.
No, she does. No. She buys people's trusts. She just buys people's trust because it's convenient for her. But the thing is, Shani would use your money to buy friendships, to buy people's trust, to buy people into white knighting for her. She's paid people to defend her for all the stupid shit that she has said and done. She has paid people to look the other way. Why else do you... I mean, no one's ever come to you or Shani for money. No one ever came to you for money. I mean, Dragnot never came to you for money. I mean, he is financially secured. Irate Alex never came to you for money. The Geek Room never came to you for money. No one came to you or Shani for money. Well, maybe G-Man. But again, we know that G-Man always simps for Shani because she pays him. I mean, I never asked for money from you, even though I still don't. And the reason why is that is because I don't know how to operate the whole donation shit. I don't know how to. I mean, I've been advertising it, but I don't know how to operate it. I don't know how to operate the whole Patreon. I don't know how to operate PayPal or... I mean, I've sent the links, but I don't think I know how to operate those links or to like get people to donate. I don't know how to do that. But Nate, even I would not ask money from you. But I know that G-Man has been on your side because why? Because you pay him. And I could see that. It's because he's broke. Why else do you think he's living in his sister's house? Why else do you think he can't afford a decent computer and that he usually films most of his videos on his phone? He's broke. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have his own money to spend.
And, but any leaving would be done by, okay? Look, I'm trying to choose my words right here because this is a very personal issue. But
I know that Shanny's basically either sitting next to him or over him.
When things like this come up and it interferes in her life, which it shouldn't, me as the husband has to come and tell you.
You're not really the husband. You're just a living boyfriend. Hell, even Drag had to show G-Man his marriage certificate. Hell, even Dragnot had to show G-Man his marriage certificate. But because he didn't come on G-Man's channel, because he didn't come on his channel to address or confirm that he's married, G-Man doesn't believe him. He even showed the documentation. He still wouldn't believe him because he thinks that people are stupid, that they'll believe that it was a forgery or Photoshop. He thinks that people are so stupid that they'll believe him. And that's the same thing with you and Shanny. I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm just going to continue this shit.
The deal. So are you going to believe me, the guy that has no motive to lie? What motive do I have to fucking lie?
What motive do you have to fucking lie? I'm looking at it, dumbass. I'm looking at the motive to lie. It's because you're afraid to get caught. You're afraid to get in trouble. You're afraid you're going to lose Shanny. Because you think that everyone on the internet, everyone that has a computer is conspiring against you. And you're defending Shanny is because you don't want to lose her because she was the only woman that you've been with besides your own mother. Because I think I could say this about you, Jason, is this. One of the reasons why you're with Shanny is because, again, she reminds you of your mother, Jason. You see traits of your mother in Shanny. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious that even after her death, you're still a mama's boy. Because your mother didn't raise you properly. She didn't raise you how to be a man. She just spoiled you, even up to adulthood, until her eventual passing. and you fell into a deep depression, falling into this, getting enveloped by conspiracy theories, like watching Alex Jones, becoming paranoid, shutting yourself out from the rest of the world, alienating your friends and family. I mean, dude, your friends were worried about you. And you didn't really see that. I mean, you had potential, Jason. You had the potential to be something greater. But instead, you took the easy way out. And look where that got you.
None. Zero motive to lie. I'm telling you that the shit that they say about her is untrue.
No, it's not. It's very true.
Uh,
Again, you really think that people are that stupid? Do you really think that we are that stupid? I mean, when we play your videos back, when we play old videos from years ago, hell, even the arrest videos, the body cam footage, accounts from other people who know her in real life have confirmed. Her family has confirmed that she is a horrible person. People that she's known in real life has confirmed that she's a horrible person. But they're bad people because they're talking bad about Shani. So therefore, they're evil. Because Shani is a poor victim. Because she tells you that she's a victim. Honestly, I've never seen anyone so whipped in their entire life to the point that they will actually defend the shitty behavior of this behemoth. This Jason Rev, he has no self-respect. He has no dignity. And he has no integrity. Because of Shani, he's lost his individuality. He's lost his purpose. He's lost what made him a person. Now he is nothing more than a shell of his former self. He ever had a former self to begin with. And because he didn't have a proper upbringing, he has nothing more. And because he didn't have the proper upbringing, he didn't have the proper parental guidance, he is left, he is just, because he didn't have a proper upbringing, he didn't have any guidance. He's just a child trapped in a man's body. That's all he is right now. That's all that these people are now. They're nothing but children trapped in grown adult bodies. they haven't physically mature, they haven't mentally and psychologically matured to the point where they can actually think for themselves or even take responsibility for themselves. They just think the whole world is out to get them. And to be honest, that's just a sad, sad existence.
It's always been untrue. She's probably one of the greatest mothers on the planet.
No, she's not. My mother is one of the greatest mothers on this planet. She has worked all her life to support her children. She didn't depend on some rich asshole for her money, for his money. She she had grandma and my aunt to raise me. When she had to go to work, she had my grandma, God rest her soul, and my aunt to raise me when she was at work. To raise me and my brother while she was at work. And now I'm returning the favor by looking after her. Now I'm returning the favor by looking after her. I always put my mother before myself. I still depend on her to this day, even that's because, but I take care of her sometimes. Because I still don't know what kind of recipes I want, because I need to know recipes. But I look after her. I cook for her. Hell, I even do dishes for her. And that's out of the kindness of my heart. And that is love, is to be being there for someone. We take care of each other. Even to this day. I know it's odd that I still live with my mother, even though I'm almost, and even when I'm turning 30 next year. But in the end, family's all you have left. Like I said, in the end, family's all you have left. But I take care of her. I made a promise to my brother that I would take care of my mom. And I've been doing a damn good job at that. Like I said. But, yes, but she has helped put food on the table for both of us while I was still trying to get my education. Still trying to make a name for myself. I'm still trying to make a name for myself. Yes, I'm still trying to make a name for myself. I'm a perpetual student. Much like drag, I'm a perpetual student. But she has supported me. She has supported my ambitions, my dreams, my aspirations. And she is very proud at my accomplishments. Shani is not that type of person. Shani is the exact opposite of my mother. Hell, she's even the exact opposite of her own mother. She neglects her kids and only uses them as tools to garner sympathy from people. She has not, I mean, in one of the mukbang videos that you guys made, I think it was the one with the native ranch. I think it was the native ranch one. In that mukbang stream, the native ranch stream, her son wanted something to eat, and she just gave him one of the jalapenos. And because she didn't want it, and he said he didn't want it, she said, "Oh, you don't." She just straight up told Zachary, "Oh, you don't get anything." She could have just ordered something for him, but instead she ordered this buffet that's big enough to even feed an entire household, all to her for herself. And she leaves the scraps just for you and her son. And also, let's not forget earlier this year when William was being taken to that crisis center for suicidal ideations. She put on this facade of a concerned mother. But she's only using, but even when she said that, well, he didn't want to be on camera, she just put the camera on him. And you could say that she didn't, but you could hear William in the car saying that he didn't want the camera on him, but she put it on him instead. Hell, even in that same video, she said, "I need prayers. I need hope. Not my son needs prayers. My son needs hope. I need, not my son, me." Because it's always about her. Hell, she didn't even teach the boys how to properly use a toilet. She didn't even teach her kids how to clean up after themselves. When she was living with her parents and they had the master bedroom, it was like a hoarder's nightmare. There was garbage on the floor. There was socks soaked in urine. There was expired food littered everywhere. And the same thing with the house in Duluth, in Minnesota, when she was living with her ex-husband, Chris. When her parents went to check up, it was, again, it looked like an episode of Hoarders. There was garbage littered across every corner, every inch of the house, every orifice and crevice in that house. There was junk piling everywhere. Even when she was living with you in Scranton, Pennsylvania, when you sent G-Man to live there to do repairs, when he was living there, it was already in a state of decay. You see, what I'm getting at? Do you see what I'm getting at, Jason? She is not a good mother. She is not a good person. But you're too stupid to realize that because you don't have individuality. She's making you say these things.
She's very talented with any number of tech skills.
Well, that's because not really. I mean, again, not really. I mean, we all know that she never finished high school and she is extremely illiterate. I mean, look, her tweets say otherwise. Her messages say otherwise. I mean, most of her comments, her posts in her when she still had her community tabs on YouTube, as well as her tweets, are littered with grammatical and spelling and grammar errors. I mean, her words, her writing are incoherent and are plagued with grammatical errors. She is extremely illiterate. And again, and that's because she's a high school dropout. Even though she claims to have taken community college courses. But I'm betting she dropped out halfway.
Editing included. I had no idea about that one.
Not really. I mean, not really, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know how to edit. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how to edit worth a damn. And yes, it's probably because I'm too lazy to. Don't get me wrong. I have this mistake of not editing my videos. But because I am too lazy to look through my old shit. I mean, when it comes to making fan-made videos using copyrighted content, that's easy. But going through my own videos, that's a challenge for me. I guess you could say I'm just too lazy to put in the effort. But compared to Shani, compared to me, Shani's worse. I mean, she doesn't even care about what she uploads. She doesn't even put in the effort to even lift a finger and do some tweaking on some of her videos. I mean, she has stated that now she's rendered immobile. And I don't know about you, but I've seen some of your work. The videos in the bathroom. You're not good at that shit either.
All she needed was somebody, like I've told her, to help her out with the cost of equipment, and she's an amazing content creator.
Not really. The equipment she's using is shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, well, you waste money on expensive equipment, and yet you don't even look back to even turn on the volume of the microphone or even adjust the microphone. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had this issue too. Hell, whenever I was in a call before I figured out how to change the settings and volume of the microphone on StreamYard, before I figured out how to operate that, I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I figured out the adjustments on the microphone, I guess I can say that now I know. I guess it's live and learn. But you don't learn from this. I mean, you have a sound card that you can use. I mean, you could get a better sound card, or even you don't even know or even have the good grace to check your settings or even make adjustments to the equipment. You just do it on a whim.
And she's going to be extremely successful.
No,
but you cocksuckers that won't let her just have a life are impeding on her career.
What career? All she does is just sit on her fat ass and just play video games poorly. She doesn't even care about the work she puts in. She just, again, she does it on a whim. And I mean, I play video games. I don't film. I don't really film myself playing video games, even though I should and I want to. But the thing is, she's too lazy to even put in the effort. Right. And again, I have to bring up Chris Chan. Let me rewind this part.
But you cocksuckers that won't let her just have a life are impeding on her career.
Okay. I'm going to stop you right there, Jason, but I'm sorry. I have to bring up Chris Chan again for the umpteenth time. Another reason why I've been comparing Shan to Chris Chan is the fact that you're using this whole, oh, I can't do my work because the trolls are causing me to lose inspiration. Again, that's the same argument Chris Chan used when he couldn't finish or even put in the effort to making or even drawing the Sonichu comics. I mean, he made a video back when he was still doing videos in his old bedroom, back before Bob died, back before the house fire, when he was still making videos on his PSI. He blamed the trolls for impeding on his creativity, when in actuality he was just too lazy to put in the effort to improve his shit. I mean, sometimes I spent, when I still made those tribute videos, I put effort and time in editing them, syncing them up to the songs I used, the copyrighted songs I used, and syncing them up and editing clips, to chopping up clips and from videos that I've saved on my drive. And I sync them up to some parts. I mean, some of my popular videos on YouTube were my Venom tribute videos, my Venom music videos, which were synced up to the song Venom by Bullet for My Valentine, using clips of Venom from other mediums, like the cartoons, the movies, the video games. I put an effort in that. Shani doesn't put an effort in her videos. I mean, unlike Shani, I took the time to piecing those clips together and syncing them up accordingly. And unlike Chris Chan, I take pride in my art, and then I listen or even look at other foreign mediums to learn how to improve my skills. And I do improve on my work. I always look through references. I always study anatomy. I'm still learning how to improve my art. But Chris Chan, on the other hand, his art style still remains consistent to this day. It looks like something a 5-year-old would draw in kindergarten. It still looks shitty to this day. And Shani, her video quality is still shitty. Whenever I make a mistake on my videos, I always have to stop the video and do it again over and over again until I get it right. I'm a perfectionist at heart. I have to make sure everything is right. Because I'm too lazy to even put in the effort to try and edit it myself, but I don't know. The thing is, I don't know how to edit it. I don't really have that much. I don't have a software to make introductions. One, because it's expensive, and two, it takes up room on my hard drive. So even if I did put in it, it still would come out shitty. I digress.
So the big names of the people that have harassed her are going to get sued, and that is going to happen. Like we're at a point now where there's no more grace. Do you understand that?
Didn't Chris Chan try to sue his trolls at one point? He tried to sue Jimmy Hill, even though Jimmy Hill's been dead for years. He tried to sue the troll that was impersonating Shigeru Miyamoto over the rights of Sonichu. And he even tried to blackmail Surf Shack Tito into giving him money.
You have messed with us so many times, and we heard what you were planning for Christmas. You should really not do that.
What are you going to do?
Because I'm going to tell you secretly, the cops are going to be writing down your number and name if you try to swat us this Christmas.
I don't know where he got this idea from. I heard anyone say that we were going to swat you guys. I don't care where you live. And I think Frank and Dragnot and other people have said this to people. Don't swat Shani. Don't swat these people. Don't go after them. Don't break TOS. Everybody has made this statement. Not to harass them, not to bully them, not to dox them. But guess what? Shani tried to get someone swatted. She tried to dox Missy Ann. She tried to get Missy Ann's dox and threatened her children. I mean, well, she got some of her white knights to dox Missy Ann because she refused Shani's offer. And I believe you people tried to swat Dragnot, and I think Shani said, I don't know if Shani demanded her followers to find Dragnot and kill him and his family, but if that was true, I wouldn't put it past it, because we all know Shani despises Dragnot. Oh, she tried to dox the Geek Room. And she tried to even dox her ex-husband. So
and you're going to get in deep shit.
And also, I'm going to say this. Again, you've briefly mentioned Chris Chan. I can see why you mentioned him. It's because you're doing the same thing he did back then. Remember when, Jason, if you remember, Jason, you remember Chris Chan put out his home address on the internet. He blurted out the address of his home. He blurted out his phone number, his personal information. The only thing he didn't reveal is his social security number. And when he did the video, the house tour video that he made and posted on the internet, he threatened to send in the police. He threatened to send in detectives, FBI, everything in his power, and demanded people to take down those videos. And of course, his late father, Bob Chandler, came in and told him to shut it off, because he was afraid that if the health department finds those videos, they would condemn their house and they would have to move out of it. So, but the thing is, even though you've had your bouts with the law, your bouts with the cops, you tried to use the cops, you tried to stick the cops on your enemies, even though you have stated numerous times that you hate the police. Just right after the arrest video, you had a grudge against the Boulder, Colorado Police Department. I mean, we all remember that, even though Shani might tell you differently, but you know deep down that she did this to you. You know that she hit you. You, Jason, for the love of God, wake up, man. She's the one who's doing this to you. She's not a victim. She's the aggressor. All the stupid shit that's been going on, all the bad shit that's been happening to you guys, it's her fault that you're like that. It's her own damn fault that you guys are dealing with problems right now. All we're doing is all we did was just follow suit. We just follow
You got
suit.
me. We've been talking to the police a lot.
The police aren't going to do shit. Hell, when they don't have any jurisdiction on Dragnet. They don't have jurisdiction on the Geek Room. They don't even have jurisdiction on anyone that's out, because, again, they don't live in the same state as you. So they're not going to do a damn thing. Hell, even the judge has said that he can't do a damn thing because it's not his jurisdiction. Why can't you get that? Why can't you get that the world doesn't revolve around Shani? Why can't you get that? It's not how the law works. It doesn't work because it doesn't work the way you want it to work. It doesn't work the way that you want it because you got upset that people were calling your wife fat. Therefore, you have to call the police on them. It doesn't work that way. That's not how this works. And besides, this is the internet. Everyone is entitled to their opinions. But I don't think you see it that way. I don't think it does either. She thinks that everybody is like her. She thinks that everybody should be exactly as her. Again, this is another Chris Chan argument. And honestly, I don't care anymore.
About the protections that are needed for internet people getting swatted and CPS'd.
Again, that's not how this works. Again, I have to say this. Nothing you do on the internet is going to warrant any police intervention. Nothing you can say or do on the internet will warrant police intervention. No one's going to snap an action and help you out. It doesn't work like that, Jason, and it never fucking will. You need to think before you do anything. You and your your significant other need to think before you post stupid shit on the internet, because it's obvious that you two put very little thought in what you upload.
And the workers agree. The police officers and the CPS workers agree.
No. They said that that it's out of their jurisdiction.
That there needs to be something done about you people that call on us, that are fine parents, just like Von Helton, just like Shani, always.
Jason, Von Helton told his kids to shut up. Shanny told her son to shut up. Well, I mean, yeah. When is yelling filming in progress considered good parenting? When your child wants something, you stop what you're doing and tend to a child's needs. Von Helton never did that to his kids. When his daughter wanted water, he told her to have flat Mountain Dew. He told her to drink Mountain Dew. That is flat. What part of that is good parenting? Hell, even in one of your recent streams, when Zachary wanted something, Shanny had the good grace to mute herself, but people could still make out what she was saying. And it was basically a verbal threat towards her son. Hell, Von's kids, when they were living with him, and they're still living with him. Well, he got them back, but even so. But then again, but wherever the, I don't know, the county that Von lives in is basically a backwater state. So the justice system there is fucked. But there's a reason why Von had his kids removed. And it's not because of the trolls. It's because of the living situation that they were forced to endure. Hell, even the kids themselves have admitted that the living situation, their living condition was horrible. I mean, God, for God's sakes, they couldn't even use the fucking toilet. They couldn't use the fucking toilet. And most of the times, they've been locked up in their rooms with no food, no water. While Von spends most of his time on whatever platform he's on, ranting about how government conspiracies and addressing his haters, while his kids are cooped up, wallowing in their own filth, wondering when the next meal's gonna come. What part of good parenting is that? And let's not forget the fact that Shanny could not even get up to even feed her own kids. Even her youngest son. Hell, William decided to stay with his friends, stay over at a friend's house, live with William, who is now old enough to make decisions on his own, decided to stay with his friends. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, look, the two of you as parents is not something I would want. But Zachary he's still a child. He can't even. Zachary has been failing school because he doesn't have anyone to help him with his work. And of course, his parents have been spending his mother, your wife, spends up to 12 hours a day playing video games and engorging herself engorging herself with fatty enriched foods, eating herself into an early grave. And you're just sitting there like a good submissive husband or boy toy, like the good submissive you are, and just taking the beatings, the verbal, physical, and psychological beatings that she throws at you.
You better start thinking about what you do with the swatting.
I don't know who's been swatting you guys, but if anything, you probably deserved it. If anything, you guys probably deserved whatever shit's coming your way. Because, again, it's your own damn fault that you're in this situation. Again, it's your own fault. I mean, I have to say this again and again and again. Shani is so self-absorbed. She wouldn't even visit her fucking son in the crisis center, but instead she just sits on her ass playing Animal Crossing and hating on people who speak the truth about her. If it were you who was placed in if it were you in that same situation, she would ignore you too. If you were being taken to a crisis center for suicidal ideations, she'd just leave you there and forget about you because she doesn't know how real relationships work. She basically lives her dream life online. She lived her dream life through her YouTube channel. She lived her dream life through her social. She lives her dream life through her social media. She basically, again, you two, both of you, are living in a fantasy world. And you're using that, and it's basically taking up most of your life, most of your time, to the point where because she's basically digging herself into a deeper hole that's impossible to get out. Well, she's already dug herself into a hole that, again, she's dug herself into an into an abyss where there's no going back. There's no coming out. And honestly, I don't know if we can save her. But her YouTube channel was destined to fail because no one in their right or wrong mind would sit and watch a morbidly obese woman cry on camera about how her life is so hard when she doesn't even know the true meaning of pain. And she doesn't even come up with her own content. She just repeats what other people say. That whole I'm a bride of Jesus Christ thing, she stole that from Tila Tequila. The whole mukbangs or whatever. She stole that from Nika Kato Avocado, Amberlynn Reed, and Chantel Marie. The whole gaming shit, the whole bingo wing individual, the whole gaming and bullshit and all that, the whole bingo wing shit, the individual title, the situation individual, she stole that from Brett Keane. I mean, I don't find it wrong to emulate other content creators. I mean, it's enduring, but the way she's doing it, she's doing a piss poor job at doing that. Dude, I've been trying to emulate Dragnot for the past 6 months because, I mean, dude, he comes up with the most kick-ass and hilarious jokes and one-liners, especially when it's directed towards Shani or G-Man or even D-Roy. But at least he can come up with better jokes than you ever would. Hell, he comes up with better jokes than G-Man. I mean, I don't have the good grace or even patience to tolerate your stupidity. I mean, the shit that she says, the shit that Shani, G-Man, the shit that you say on your platform is insulting my intelligence. Hell, it's even an insult to humanity in general. You are an insult. Shani is an insult to humanity as a whole. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. It's damn true.
And calling on people that you don't even know, because it's going to start coming back at you now. They're going to start taking your names down. Anyway, because the police departments are getting sued now.
The police departments are getting sued? Jason, open your eyes. You can't fight the system. You can't fight the system. No one can fight the system. This isn't a comic book. This isn't a cartoon. This is real life. No one's gonna sue the police department because because someone hurt their fifis. That's not how justice works. And it's never gonna fucking work like that.
And when it hits their pocketbook, it's over. Okay?
Oh, fuck you.
You're gonna get arrested. Anyway, the last issue, there was an individual that was a friend of our show.
I wonder who that is.
That came to me and sent me an email about my PlayStation 5 unboxing video and giving me blessings for saying thank you for doing that and stuff. But also, there was some negative stuff about Shani in it. And she says to me, I don't mention it to Shani because I don't want to fight. Well, hey, lady, I hate to tell you, but that's secrets between me and my wife, and I don't do that.
Then why are you posting it here on YouTube, where everyone can see it, where everyone can hear it? I mean, you basically hinted at this, so it's not a secret anymore. You posted it. I mean, why are you posting a YouTube video? You know everybody's going to see this. And just because you've disabled the comment section doesn't mean that people are going to watch it. I mean, honestly, when Chris Chan made his video for Jackie, he didn't put it on YouTube. Instead, he used MediaFire because he thought that the trolls wouldn't get their hands on it. But of course, Jackie turned out to be a troll pretending to be a girl interested in him. So there's that. I mean, this would have been an issue. This wouldn't have been an issue if you started uploading your videos on MediaFire and privately sending them to Dragnot. But I know Dragnot's going to show them because it's the internet. It's the internet. And there's a thing called free speech. And it's not a secret that you people always like to lie and lie a lot and lie about your lies. Again, another reason why I've been comparing you and Shanny to Chris Chan is because you guys have a bad habit of lying. And you always lie about your lies. And you somehow believe that people are so stupid that they'll accept these lies as truth. Again, you're living in a fantasy world. This ain't Sonichu, Jason. We're not cardboard cutouts. Okay, that I should have said right. I should have said differently. This is live, so it won't matter. But again, I gotta say, this isn't Sonichu, Jason. We're not stock characters. We're actual people with actual feelings, with actual emotions and actual thoughts. We're not like some of the plain idiots in your shitty novels, in your shitty book. We're not like stock characters that are usually in the background. I've already used stock characters, but you get what I mean. My point is, we're actual people with actual thoughts, actual feelings, actual emotions, and we have actual opinions. And our opinions on Shanny are valid. Want to know why? Because she put that out there. She puts her own mess out there for everyone else to see. And what they see isn't this angelic figure who is a kind, loving, and advice and acts as a role model to children. We see a vile, narcissistic, hypocritical, manipulative sociopath who just can't keep her hands clean. That's what we see. And you are a mindless, you're just a mindless puppet who just agrees with everything she tells you to agree. Hell, she basically even coaches you to say what she wants you to say. She might as well shove her hand up your ass and move your mouth for you, because that's all you're good to her, is that you're nothing more to her than a ventriloquist dummy. And she is the ventriloquist. Even though her hand might be too big to even fit up your rectum. But you get the idea.
You're not going to, anybody that wants me to keep something from Shani, you better not tell me about it, because I'm going to immediately tell her if you tell me not to tell her.
Dude. Of course you're going to tell her, because she told you to tell her. Because you don't have a will of your own.
You get that? Because it's probably something important that she should know, that you're trying to get me in trouble, or you're trying to split us up. It's the bottom fucking line here is that you're trying to destroy another one of my wife, Shani's relationships.
No, Jason. We never destroyed any of her relationships. That was all on her. She has a habit of burning bridges with everyone. I mean, her ex-husband, Chris, immediately told his side of the story. That she was an abusive, narcissistic woman. And hell, even her parents, her mother, her parents have come out and told their side of the story. And it lines up with what everyone is trying to say. She is a terrible person. But you're just too blind to see that. You're too stupid to see that. So, what's the point of trying to save you from her? It's obvious that you're just about as mentally fucked as her. So, you two deserve each other. There's no point in trying to save you. There's no point in trying to separate. There's no point in trying to separate you, because you're one and the same. So, we're not gonna bother with that. I'm not gonna bother with trying to separate you two. It's obvious.
And I know it. It's very, very clear. I've seen this pattern, and they did it with Chris, definitely.
You mean Chris Dornbush? No. The reason why Chris and Shani are not together is because she was being unfaithful to him. She was flirting with you on Google Hangouts while she was still married to him. She was basically having affairs with other guys behind his back. And, well, she cheated on him, so therefore, he would cheat on her back. And he's a better person for leaving her. He's a better person for not putting up with her disgusting degeneracy. I mean, he has a better life, and he's doing better for himself. Unlike you. Look.
And I think he finally got to the point where, like, fuck this shit.
Dude. We didn't ruin her marriage. We didn't ruin her marriage. She did that herself. Again, I have to say this again. Shani doesn't know how real relationships work. She is a self-absorbed pig. She's a selfish brat who doesn't take no for an answer. And every time someone tries to tell her to not do anything, she throws a fit. Every time someone has the good grace to stand up for themselves, her parents, her ex-husband, even her kids, hell, even you at one point before she manipulated you. Anyone who tries to defy her, anyone who tries to like stand up to her, she throws a fit. Don't you see that, Jason? It always has to be her way and no one else's. But I know you're not going to listen to me. You don't listen to anyone but yourselves. Again, you're not going to listen to me because, one, I'm not a Christian. Well, technically, I'm not the type of Christian like G-Man. I'm not the type of Christian who basically bases every life decision on the Bible like G-Man. I'm a Catholic, which is a branch of Christianity. Catholicism and Christianity are one and the same. But according to G-Man, I would be considered an atheist or a dragoon. But according to Von Helton, I would be considered a damn dirty troll or a hater. According to Shani, I'd be considered a harasser. And honestly, you could say that I'm harassing your wife. You could say that I'm abusing you or sexually abusing her, but I'm not. I don't know your wife in real life. I don't even know you in real life. Hell, I never even talked to you. I never even talked to any of you people, even though I tried to get on G-Man's stream, but he blocked me because I addressed him by his real name. I tried to talk to G-Man, but then again, much like Christian, the only people that you guys are willing to talk to are those who are willing, who are I think Noel said this best. The only people that Christian was willing to talk to are those who are willing to play along with his daydream. And that's the same thing with you and Shani and G-Man and Von Helton. The only people that you guys would let in your circle are people who are mentally fucked as you are, who are just about as mentally fucked as you are. And if anyone tries to go against the grain, anyone who tries to tell Shani anything different, even give her any constructive criticism, it upsets her. And she would disavow you and accuse you of being a troll or even a harasser. Hell, she'll even accuse anyone who tries to give her advice. Anyone who tries to give Shani advice will be accused of sexually harassing her. I mean, yes, I do believe. Yes, at one point I would have believed that Shani had all the opportunities to, I don't know, better herself. Even, I mean, she's not as famous as Chris Chan, but much like him, in the internet has basically ruined her chance of having a normal life. She's ruined any chance she had of having a normal life. I mean, she would have been well enough to make money on her, I don't know, Christ, on her Christian beliefs by trying to do like one of those televangelists, like she could have had you could have had the drive, and you, if it weren't for Shani, you would have been, you'd still be in Scranton, Pennsylvania. You'd still be in that house you'd still be in the house that your mother left you. You'd still be living in the house your mother left you. Hell, you would have even done something productive with that money, with the money she left you. You would have even turned that house into your own news studio. You could have been like the next Alex Jones. If it weren't for Shani, you could have been the next Alex Jones. The fact that she's forced you to leave Scranton further laments that further laments the obvious notion. Further proves that she is a manipulator. To her, Jason, Rev, to her, you're just a puppet to her. And she's pulling the strings.
Yeah. Well, what he did was completely unjustified. Okay?
No, it was justified.
If I got to the point where I was real, Shani is a celebrity.
Oh, for God's sakes. For God's sakes, Jason. When are you going to realize this? Oh, for God's sakes. Do I really need to say this? And for you stupid people, the people who follow her, like Tragic and all the other enablers, and all her other enablers, let me tell you something. Get my guy. Shani is not a celebrity. She's a lolcow. What does she have? What has she done that would garner fame? What has she done that would make her a celebrity? Aside from being featured on a Shane Dawson video, nothing. She has done absolutely nothing but make herself look like a complete and utter idiot. Hell, even for YouTube standards, she wouldn't be considered a celebrity. And again, I have, the list keeps piling up. I mean, again, the list keeps piling up and up of reasons. The list of reasons keep piling up and up. I mean, I can make an entire book on the comparisons between Shani for Christ and Chris Chan. Again, that's because right there, let me play that again.
What he did was completely unjustified. Okay. If I got to the point where I was real, Shanny is a celebrity.
That's another reason why I've been comparing Shanny to Chris Chan is that she thinks that because people watch her videos online, she assumes it makes her a celebrity. Same thing with Chris Chan. I mean, Chris Chan believed that because people read Sonichu. Sorry. Chris Chan believed that. Chris Chan assumed that everybody knows about Sonichu. Everybody on the internet knows about Sonichu. Therefore, it would mean that he's famous. Hell, there was a video that was leaked on the internet. There was a video of Chris Chan in his car, possibly on his way to like a BronyCon, where he was talking to like a homeless person. He said, and I quote, "I'm a big time celebrity. I'm the big time celebrity." And this guy was like, "Who's the celebrity here?" And then Chris is like, "Me. I'm a big time celebrity." Like when Classic Chris Chan did those videos on his PSI, he always opens up with, "Hi, my name is Christian Weston Chan. Y'all should know me by now. Y'all should know me by now." That's basically what I'm getting at with Shanny, is that she assumes that everybody knows her because she posts videos on the internet. Hell, I don't even get that much views on my videos, even on my streams. I barely get like 2 views, and honestly, but I have 100 subscribers, and I'm still getting more subscribers, but that doesn't mean I'm a celebrity. It means I'm posting shit on YouTube. That doesn't garner celebrity. 100 subscribers doesn't count. I have to go higher. But bottom line is, much like Shanny, Chris Chan also thought he was a celebrity. He thought that because he posts like videos, because he posted videos on the internet, he thought that because he posted like videos on the internet, and because he was featured on a news segment when he was a kid, that it means that he's a celebrity, because he was featured on a news segment when he won that Sonic the Hedgehog contest when he was a kid, and was interviewed by the reporter in front of a KB's toy store, back when KB's Toys was still a thing. He assumed that because he posted pictures and drawings of his Sonichu comics, he assumed that everybody on the internet knows who he is, when even barely half of my subscribers know who Christian is. Hell, not even my followers, who were followers of the Geek Room, know who Christian is. And I have to keep explaining it to them. I have to keep, every time when people ask that, even every time people say that they don't know who Christian is, I tell them that there's a website that's dedicated to him. Christian has but unlike Shanny, Chris Chan has an entire website dedicated to him, dedicated to his past discretions, dedicated to every moment in his life. And he's got, hell, there's a series of videos documenting his life from the day he was born to his recent escapades. Shanny only has a few videos on her. She has a few people reacting to her videos. And the only documentaries I've seen so far are from Cecil McFly and Irate Alex. There's not an entire series dedicated to Shanny. Hell, there's not even a Wikipedia page, let alone a Wikipedia site dedicated to Shanny. Even though I'm trying to campaign for that. I've been trying to like get people to like, I don't know, send me information about Shanny so that I could condense it all into one Wikipedia site which I have purposely dubbed the Shiki, like Shiki, the Shanny for Christ Wikipedia, which chronicalizes all of her failings. I mean, Shanny wants to be famous, but Shanny says she wants to be famous. So let's make her famous. Let's put the word out there. Let's get everyone together. Let's get our resources together and condense it into one Wikipedia site. But then again, Shanny's life is not interesting enough to even garner the fame that Chris Chan received in the past 2 decades. Well, almost 2 decades. But given time, give her time, and she'll reach that level of infamy, or even of infamy. But
here's the thing. And you have to be prepared to be with a celebrity. Okay? It's not like you have these Hollywood movies and shit or whatever you want to, I don't know, stories, Hallmark movie, whatever.
Again, Shanny is not a celebrity, Jason. She's a lolcow. She's not famous for her videos, for her tour hauls. The only time that Shannon has ever received some recognition was from a clip that was featured on Shane Dawson's channel by mistake. And let's not forget about the documentaries, the Cecil McFly's documentary on her, which does have all of the information that was collected and archived from videos that she uploaded in the past, from accounts by people who know her in real life, and from even the drunken peasants who featured her on their show. And even the stuff that she puts out there, as well as the body cam footage, which is public information if it's. And by the way, Rumor Research Lab got the permission from the Boulder Police Department to use the footage with some editing, with some good editing. But it's evident that, hell, even you admitted last year, you admitted to the cops that Shani was the aggressor in the argument. And you even showed the police the welt marks on your arms and legs. Hell, even Shani admitted to hitting you. And also, let's not forget she tried to throw you under the bus when she was being carted off.
You know,
I mean, were you not there when she said, why didn't he get arrested? When she was in handcuffs, she blatantly said, why didn't you get... She blatantly tried to like throw you under the bus by asking the cops, why weren't you arrested? Because according to her, you were the one who hit her.
About the great story of this woman finding this great Hollywood man and they get married and oh, it's fucking bliss. No.
Dude, you two are neither.
Living like a celebrity is not fun.
Again, you're not a celebrity, Jason. Shani, by the way, Jason, again, I have to say this. You and Shani are not celebrities. You're lolcows. My God. Do I have to explain Chris Chan again? Because you're basically saying the same things he said in his early videos before this whole dimensional merge bullshit. You assume that because everyone on the planet has a computer, smartphone, or any gadget that can play that any gadget that is compatible with social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, you assume that anyone with a handheld device or a computer knows who Shani for Christ is. No. Hell, even the people who cover Chris Chan, like Rogue the Internet Man, don't know who Shani for Christ is. Hell, even on Reddit, I try to suggest to Mr. Medicare or to the Mr. Medicare's fan bases that they should cover you two. And my response was mixed because it's obvious that Mr. Medicare wouldn't even waste his precious time covering you two because you're basically below him. You're beneath him. He only covers the crazy type, even though, Von Helton, maybe Von Helton. I mean, Von Helton basically, but then again, Mr. Medicare has covered a lot of crazy people in his time. Before he got stupid, before he got shitty, before 2020 got to him and made him an idiot. But Von Helton would have been the type of person that Mr. Medicare would have covered in his internet insanity videos. Hell, even Shani for Christ alone would have been worthy of an internet insanity video. Or even a Hugbox Chronicle video. But that doesn't mean it'll make her famous. In fact, it'll make her infamous because of all this crazy shit that she has done by her own volition. Not because people made fun of her, but because she did it herself. And the fact that the trolls didn't, well, some trolls forced Chris Chan to do stupid shit, but the other stuff that Chris Chan does, was by his own volition. Before he even transitioned, he had tendencies of wanting to become female. The reason why he maintained a false masculinity was because his father was around. And his parents, Chris Chan's parents, back when Bob was still alive, they were extremely conservative. Anything that doesn't fall into their set of beliefs is considered taboo. They were basically old-fashioned, and Chris didn't want to disappoint them. He didn't even want to disappoint his father. But ever since Bob passed away and Barb becoming, well, to becoming senile, Chris Chan is free to do whatever he wants and be whoever he wants. Therefore, he decides to transition into becoming a female by his own volition, by his own accord. Not because the trolls told him to, but because he felt like he didn't feel comfortable in his own skin. And I could see the same thing happening to you in a few months. Maybe. I mean, you're basically considered you don't really have that much masculinity in you. You don't even have that definition in you. Hell, you're more of a woman than Shani ever was. Than Shani. You're more of a woman than Shani is. Hell, you even complain like a woman. And that's not me being sexist, but I still believe that Jason, I still believe that you were a female in your past life. Why else do you think? How else would you explain your hair? How else would you explain Then again, that was because you were basically what? But that was. But how else would you explain Revelina? But well, then again, Shani kind of took advantage of you when you were going through withdrawals. She took advantage of you, and well, people who had the good grace to archive those videos, the Revelina videos, saw that she was taking advantage of you in your feeble state when you were going through withdrawals. I mean, you were out of it. You were completely out of it. You were gone. And she manipulated you using emotion. She manipulated you while you were out of it. And you're still out of it. Your brain is completely fried. To the point where it's beyond repair. Same thing with Shani.
And all of them will tell you that. And the main reason because of that, there's no privacy. None. Number one. None. We're not on that level, praise Jesus.
Privacy. Shani puts everything she basically records everything about her personal life and uploads it on YouTube for everyone else to see. So it's not private. Shani has announced things without provocation. She has everything that we have said about her is because she put it out first. So you can throw away that whole privacy thing out the window because it's obvious that nothing is private in her life. Oh, shit. Hello. Hey, Rachel. I'm sorry. I missed you. Sorry I missed you, Rachel. Sorry I missed you, Rachel, but I was just talking about the whole... I was talking. I wasn't really paying attention to the chat. I should, but I'm losing my voice here. That's a force of habit.
Oh, we're not on the level of Mel Gibson. But we don't have his money either.
Wow, because Shani is frivolously wasting your money on worthless crap. That's why you don't have this money. You don't have that kind of money. It's because Shani's wasted it all on makeup, expensive makeup, food that could feed an entire family, and clothes that you don't even fit her, and technology that you don't even know how to use. I'm glad I don't have my face plastered on the screen because
okay. Anyway, the point is,
excuse yourself,
that we have minor celebrity.
Not even that. Minor celebrity? You're not even that. You're not even famous enough to be a celebrity, let alone a minor celebrity, let alone to be a YouTube celebrity. You're not even on that level yet. You're not even close to being YouTube famous. You're infamous. So, hell, you're not even worthy of having the same fame as Chris Chan, the same infamy as Chris Chan has. And that's because he's been on the internet for almost 2 decades. And he puts everything about his personal life on countless platforms, ranging from early YouTube to home videos that were meant to be private, but he uploads them on the internet for everyone else to see. Even before YouTube, he has put himself out there. What has Shani done to garner that status of celebrity? What has she done? She has gotten arrested, but who hasn't gotten arrested? I'm sorry I missed you, Rachel Dragonfly. Sorry about that. But
that's what we got.
No.
And it's in a dumpster called YouTube.
Dude.
That's literally what YouTube is. It's a dumpster.
Dude. it's not YouTube's fault that your wife is being harassed Dude, I mean, this is the same argument Chris Chan had. Again, I'm comparing her to Chris Chan again. Because you brought him up, so I might as well make the comparisons. You brought him up, so I might as well make the comparisons. You see, when Chris Chan was at the boiling point of the online harassment that's been plaguing him, he blamed social media. He blamed social media because the trolls got a hold of his accounts. He blamed Facebook. He blamed MySpace. He even blamed YouTube for the information that was leaked that was leaked online, because he couldn't even keep his damn mouth shut. Maybe Shani should have thought of that before she started to go on. Maybe Shani should have thought about.
You don't get paid at YouTube.
Dude, that's because you have to have a large number of subscribers. And besides, there's Streamlabs. You have to have like and it has,
Does anybody really get paid at YouTube except PewDiePie? I don't think.
And it's PewDiePie, you dumbass. Not PewDiePie. It's PewDiePie. There have been YouTubers that make original content. That is quality content. And it's not just some loser on a smartphone or shitty webcam or even a PSI. I mean, who uses PSIs to upload videos on YouTube anymore? I mean, you're basically filming on a camera phone. You're not even putting in effort. You're just, because no one wants to pay money just to see a self-loathing individual like you and Shin, two self-loathing individuals who do nothing but complain about how people are being mean to them. People pay for quality content. People pay for entertainment. You two are not entertaining.
I think so. Not much.
And by the way, the reason why no one's getting paid on YouTube is because of copyright infringements being filed left and right. Channels are being demonetized and taken down because, yes, YouTube's terms of services and their copyright system is completely fucked. But they have other revenues, but they have other venues to make money off of. They have people, there are people with Patreon. There's Patreon, Streamlabs, PayPal, you name it. And let's not forget your Cash App, the Cash App. And let's not forget Cash App, because there are other ways to make money on the internet. I still need to learn how to figure out how to operate Patreon. Then again, no one even visits my Patreon because no one's interested in seeing my shit.
So it's slave labor. When
No,
you do get money, it's pennies.
Dude, you've basically blocked everyone. Shani's basically blocked almost everyone who talks about her. Because she is so because you people are so freaking paranoid that you assume that anyone who talks about you is a troll. And I've already made my comparisons to Christian, so I have nothing to add here. But it's her egotism that makes her paranoid. Makes you paranoid because you're
barely buying a mukbang with that shit.
Dude.
Anyway, that's a totally different subject. The point is I don't keep shit from my wife.
Why would you? She basically has you on a leash.
So the main message in this video is that this is more correcting lies. That's what I'm going to name it. Correcting lies. Okay?
Did you hear that, folks? Did you hear her in the background? It's obvious she's coaching him to say this shit. But then again, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed either.
Yeah, I'm tired of having to do videos addressing shit that is false.
Did you hear that? Did you catch that? Did you hear him say, I'm tired of addressing... Did you catch that? He didn't make this video by his own accord. Shani told him to make this video. So... Again, she's controlling him.
It's getting extremely old. And I'm not going to leave her because guess what? Do you know there's a 4-letter word? It's a 4-letter word,
Love.
folks. It rhymes with dove, which is a beautiful thing. I just thought of that, man.
Really, dude?
That's God that did that.
Really?
That's Jesus put that in my head. It rhymes with dove.
How delusional are you, Jason? How delusional to think that all this shit was ordained? There's something wrong with your brain. I don't know if it's the withdrawals of alcohol, fetal alcohol syndrome, or the fact that Shani psychologically manipulates you into thinking what she thinks, or the fact that of your poor upbringing. But something's wrong with you, and you need help. And not court-mandated therapy, but actual professional help. I know you say you're afraid to step into the psych ward, the psych office. You're afraid to step into the psych ward. I mean, you could see like a psychiatrist who basically likes to keep things confidential, even though someone who can be trustworthy and not say things you want to hear.
You are my dove, but the word is love.
Of course, it's love. Because that's all Shani wants. More than anything in the world. Of course, that's all Shani wants in this world. Is for people to love her. Is for everybody to love her. Not everybody has to love her. There cannot be any hate against her. There cannot be any animosity towards her. She has to be loved. She has to be cherished. She has to be treasured. She has to be worshipped like the goddess she is.
And I love this woman.
I know.
I love her.
I know.
And not one of you scumbags are going to change that.
Who says we
You
are?
can come to me with anything. The reason I showed her this email that this woman deliberately told me not is to prove to her that I'm serious.
You're paranoid. You assume that the woman sent you this email was because you're fucking paranoid. You assume that she is one of the trolls that was out to maliciously attack her. Therefore, you would share the email to her because you're fucking paranoid.
Ain't gonna hide shit from you, even if it's some person on the internet saying Shani's kind of a bitch for saying poor people. You know, you can't laugh at us,
dude. She said it because she wanted to prove that she was better than everyone else, which she is not.
That isn't laugh at poor people. That is,
yes, you did.
Isn't how she meant it.
Yes, she did. Because she's basically wasting your money. Miss me with that shit. You fucking idiot.
At all. And you should
twist it that way, like always.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's always everyone's fault. Everyone is the problem. Everyone is being mean. It's not because Shani is a really terrible person. No, she is a poor abuse victim, and she only wants to be loved. She only wants to be cherished. She only wants to be worshipped like a goddess because she is a goddess from an alternate dimension.
I know.
And again, you're basically saying what she's telling you to say. Next thing you're basically her little errand boy. You're more of her little errand boy than her husband. Always coming in to like clean up her mess. And you're not even doing a good job of that. You're only making yourselves look even worse than you already are.
It was a video to haters.
Dude.
I thought that would have been clear to most people.
Oh my God. Your haters. Dude. We don't really hate you two. We just think that you people need help. Serious help. Because this dynamic isn't working out for you.
But the point is,
maybe she's a hater.
In this,
oh my God, everyone's a hater. Of course, again, it's everyone's fault. Everyone is to blame for all of Shani's problems. It's never always her fault. Everybody is mean to her. Everybody is evil. Again, like Chris Chan, Shani can't take responsibility for her own actions.
This email, I was getting praised. It didn't matter. I still showed it to Shani because I'm not going to hide shit from her. I actually love her. And that's the problem that you guys have.
And I actually love you.
Exactly.
We
have a
know.
mutual love.
We know.
Now, they're going to say, well, then why the fuck does Shani say all the time that she's not loved and she's never been loved? You have to
Because she wants people to feel sorry for her?
understand that her bar for love is very high.
Oh,
We're
dear.
talking, and you're going to say that this is a cop out or something, but it's not.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Do I really need to make another Christian comparison? I think I do. You see, when Christian was doing his love quest, he had standards for the type of woman he wanted. And when people refused to accept his offers, he would throw a temper tantrum because he couldn't get his way. Kind of like Shani. Because, and that's why her marriages couldn't, that's why most of her marriages didn't last. Because she couldn't have the willpower or even the drive or even the integrity to put in the efforts. To make a relationship work. Again, you two, and that's why you're with her, is because you yourself, you don't, the only woman you had any physical contact with was your own mother. And yes, Shani was, and of course, I get that Shani was the only woman you've been with. But again, I still believe that the reason why you're with her is because, again, you see your mother in her. So what does that say about you, Jason? What does that say about your character? I mean, I don't see anything wrong with finding someone who has similar characteristics as my mother, but I mean, I don't find anything wrong with someone who was finding a girl who's kind of strong, who kind of has the same, I think, sense of humor as my mother, or I mean, or find someone who would love me the way my mother loves me. I mean, there are plenty of girls out there who would show that love, that who would be like who would have like this motherly instinct. I mean, I know it's kind of odd, but I guess you could say that, I guess in a way you basically, but I mean, I know there are a lot of people, guys, who would find a girl, who would want to find a girl that's kind of that's like their mother. But I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But if you basically see your mother in her, then we might need, like, I mean, like a nurturing heart, maybe a nurturing heart, like a nurturing. I lost the word for that because I've been at this for 3 hours, with no sleep, and I basically lost my train of thought. Again, I can say this. I mean, maybe I should start going back to bed early. Okay, let's just play the video again.
Dude, if you knew the amount of abuse she took as a child, you wouldn't say anything.
The thing is, she wasn't abused as a child. She was sexually assaulted when she was 16, but that was her fault for letting herself believe that she can trust those people. And she made the mistake. I mean, because she let it corrupt her. And you're letting Trump, she's letting her mistakes dictate her life decisions. And she's letting her past corrupt her and turn her into this creature that that lies next to you.
In fact, you would go look at yourself in the mirror and say, holy fuck, I have been the worst sack of shit to ever live to hate on this woman.
I was looking at myself in the mirror. And no, I don't think that way. And I don't think I'm a sack of shit. And no, I don't see myself as a sack of shit when I look at myself in the mirror. I can joke about it, but I don't really think that I am a sack of shit. And that's just basically on you. That's just you. That's just Shanny but the challenge is, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Or are you...
And then I would hope you would repent to Jesus because you need to get saved.
Oh my God. Now I know where G-Man now I know where G-Man gets these ideas from. You, Jason. It's because you basically transfer the money to his account, to his Cash App. And because you two are basically siblings, figuratively siblings. In fact, your G-Man is the colored version of you. He's basically G-Man's basically your twin brother. Even though he's 10 years older than you. He's 10 years older than you. Even though he's 10 years older than you, I would still consider him like a twin brother because you basically share the same brain, which is wet. But peace and mind.
Peace.
Anyway, I've lost a few brain cells after watching that shit. I mean, I've nearly made myself almost as wet-brained as he is. But sadly, the idiot just went on and said something stupid. As usual, because the Ham Beast was sitting next to him or even sitting behind him, coaching him on what to say. Again, these two are made for each other. I mean, they deserve each other. And of course, nurturing attitude. I don't mind finding finding a girl who has the same nurturing attitude as my mother. I mean, but if you're only seeing someone solely on the fact that she reminds you of your mother, then what does that say about you? I mean, yeah, Shani is a mother too, but I want to believe that Jason in his subconscious believed that Shani could be a second mother to him. I mean, that's the only interaction with a woman that he's ever had was his mother. I mean, Shani was the first woman Jason ever had sex with. Aside from his blow-up dolls. But that's just it. There was no one else that Jason was ever been with. So he assumes that all women should, I don't know, be as massive as Shani. That all women have yeast infections and fibro, and that all women have moles on their forehead. He probably believes that all women's vaginas smell like a Wuhan fish market, or taste like, or Kushimo that tastes like truffles. Which goes to show that he has no knowledge on life or anything. So that pretty much does it for this video. I know I kind of overdid it because I kept talking too much, kept explaining Chris Chan and how Shani is like him. And I know Billy's gonna use my words against me because fuck Billy, he's an asshole. But anyway, that just about does it for this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click on bell notifications. And if you want to support me, the links are in the description. And please let me know what I can do to, I don't know, get people to notice my Patreon. How I can, aside from describing it, because I don't even know how to work it. I don't know how to get donations or even get the word out. I mean, if you guys can help me try to like manage things. Let me know. And I'll try to like look into some stuff and maybe even learn a thing. And I might need to learn how to look at some stuff later on. But until then, in the words of Rogue the Internet Man, I'll see you degenerates next time. Peace out, folks.